Welcome back to the Britannia Coin Company. We're a coin dealer based in Royal Wootton Bassett in the UK. In the past, we've made a couple of videos about cleaning coins. We've used suggestions from you, the viewers, to make those videos, and I noticed a lot of them were suggesting that we soak the coins in various products rather than scrubbing them. So today we're going to be looking at some subscriber suggestions on what to soak your coins in to clean them. As we have said previously, we do not recommend that you clean your coins. Cleaning them will destroy any numismatic value in the coins. So if you have rare, valuable or special coins to yourself, we don't recommend that you clean them. There is a difference between cleaning coins and professionally conserving them, which will be a topic for the future. The coins that we've chosen today have been specifically picked because they have no or little intrinsic numismatic or collector value. Now, if you have any suggestions that you'd like us to try in the future, if we return to this topic, then let me know down in the comment section. Oh, and also, if you're going to be handling cleaning products, then do take precautions when handling the solutions. Also, best to do it in a well-ventilated area. So my apologies to my colleagues who have had to put up with an interesting smell emanating from my little studio. First up, Anna Perkins suggested Coca-Cola. This is one I'd heard before and in the past have played around with it, so I was hopeful that this one was going to be a great start. Our first coin is an 1896 penny, of which over 24 million were minted. It is a common misconception that a 126-year-old coin must be worth a fair bit, but I can assure you we have buckets of them and they are readily available at low prices to all who would want one. So each coin was dropped into a cup, reverse side up. That took a few attempts with some of the coins, I must admit. I then poured generous lashings of the cleaner, and then they were left for the rest of that day and then overnight. Here we go after a nice long soak. We can't really see much, so let's get the coin out. Each coin got a gentle rinse under cold water and a quick towel dry too. The cola has definitely shined up the coin, removing years of toning and dirt, leaving it a light pinkish colour. It also reveals the scratches and dings on the design, which were being somewhat masked by the toning. It is quite a noticeable transformation, and I'd give this a solid 8 out of 10. Good choice, Anna Perkins. In a field of one, your horse is out in front. Next up, Mr. and Mrs. Snappy suggested using vinegar on its own. Now, although the suggestion comes with a warning for good ventilation, I may have not totally thought this through, and this particular ingredient was the worst culprit in making quite the pong that escaped my studio. I promise it wasn't me. The coin that will face up to the chip shop staple is this 1897 penny, of which there were over 20 million produced. In this year, Queen Victoria became the first British monarch to reach a diamond jubilee and remains still one of only two to do so. Well, let's get it into the cup and drench it in vinegar. Much like my order from the fish and chip shop, plenty of vinegar please, but hold the salt. After a night making a terrible smell, we can see the coin at the bottom of the cup. It does look a bit cleaner, but let's get the smell rinsed away and check out the coin. Again, you can see it's done wonders cleaning away some of the toning. The coin looks brighter around the edges. It still needs a bit of time to really cut through the dirt though. Overall then, Mr. and Mrs. Snappy, I'll give it a 6. It did some good work, but not quite as good as the cola. Our next suggestion comes from Robert's Coin Adventures. He suggests that we leave it overnight in brown sauce and ketchup as well. So let's do both of these, starting with brown sauce. The coin we'll use is a penny from 1898. Now, there were over 14 million of these produced in the year that brought us the Royal Army Medical Corps and the first driver fatality from an automobile accident on a public highway after Henry Linfield's car sped into a tree at between 16 and 17 miles per hour, a higher speed for the time. Once again, let's drop the coin in and cover it in the sauce. Again, this was a rather pungent smell after having been left to air overnight. I must remember lids if we return to this again. Surprise, surprise, we can't see the coin. The source is rather opaque, but if we give it a rinse, we can see what's happened. It has brightened the coin up somewhat, but there are still large fields of dark toning. The raised part of the designs and the numbering for the year seem to have polished up the best. A little bit disappointing though, so for its lack of a deep clean and another lovely smell to mix with the vinegar, it's getting a 3 out of 10 from me. Perhaps Robert's Coin Adventures' second suggestion will prove more fruitful. Bring on the red sauce. It will be up against this coin, an 1899 penny with over 26 million minted for use in circulation. It comes from the year that saw Queen Victoria lay the foundation stone for what would become the Victoria and Albert Museum. This was her last public engagement and a week before turning 80. Into the cup though, and with a bit of a splatter, let's pile on the red sauce and see once and for all what is better, brown sauce or red sauce. Let battle commence. Again, we can't really have a peek at the coin given that ketchup isn't transparent, so time to rinse it off and see how well it fared. The whole of the coin certainly looks cleaner, not just the raised design and lettering. The background field too is looking much sharper. Even some of the corrosion originally on the coin has disappeared as well. Much better results here, Robert's Coin Adventures. I'll give you a 7 on this one. So combined you get a 10. But combined that would be out of 20, so 50%, not too shabby. One suggestion from Roger O'Neill was to make use of WD-40. Now he does suggest this is for corrosion, but I thought we'd include it and see if it cleans at all. We are leaving the 1800s now. With the turn of a new century, we will be testing this coin from 1900. There were over 31 million of these coins minted in a year which saw the founding of the Labour Party and the first publication of the Daily Express. It does make you wonder what they wrote about for 61 years before the birth of Lady Diana Spencer. Anyways, into the pot it goes with a spray which is actually rather fun. We cover the coin in this bubbly spray. For those unaware of what WD-40 is, it is a lubricant, rust preventative, penetrant and moisture displacer. One of 2 tools required by all good engineers, the second being duct tape. After a night in the solution, it doesn't seem to have changed all that much, but let's get it out of the fluid and see for sure. Once again, the high points on the coin look a little clearer, and the spot of corrosion does seem to be a bit smaller now. A similar result I feel as brown sauce delivered. Again, it gets a 3 out of 10. Thanks for the suggestion, Roger O'Neill, but better luck next time though. Rory Fletcher offered a cocktail of a remedy, using salt, distilled vinegar and boiled water. Perhaps not the tastiest cocktail, but a few ingredients we have seen work in the past. Although it was suggested to only need 5 minutes, for the fairness of the test, it too would be left overnight. We will pit this remedy against this 1901 penny. Again, plenty of these were made, totaling over 22 million. This year marked the transition from the Victoria era to the Edwardian era, with the passing of Britain's then longest reigning monarch and the accession of her son to the throne. It is also the year that Winston Churchill made his first speech in the House of Commons. Time to drop it in and add our ingredients. Without directions of how much to use, I was generous with all 3 to see what happened. It also got a bit of a stir to make sure it was all mixed up. I hope I was supposed to do that as well. When we return the next day, we can peek in and see that the coin at the bottom of the cup is still looking a bit grubby, but it hasn't had a rinse and a dry yet, so let's get to that. Again, the coin does look brighter across more of the design than some of the other attempts. The corrosion under the armpit of Britannia too seems to have disappeared. I'll give this one a 6 out of 10, tied with vinegar on its own. It was almost a 7, but not quite. Thanks for your suggestion though, Rory Fletcher. Our penultimate product was the idea of Stephen Patrick. He promises striking results after just a few hours by using Sterident tablets. So let's see if it holds up to expectations. We will use this 1903 penny to test, of which over 21 million were minted. 1903 saw the first year that Thai food tips tea was marketed, and the remains of Cheddar Man are discovered, Britain's oldest and most complete human skeleton, which was dated to be from around 7150 BCE. Perhaps we could offer him a spare denture tablet once we're done. Into the pot the coin goes. I didn't know how many tablets to use, so I thought better safe than sorry and threw 2 of them in. I must confess, never having needed denture cleaner before, the resulting blue fizz and mild minty smell was rather satisfying to watch for a little bit, as it bubbled away. The next day though, we end up with this bright blue liquid and a coin at the bottom which is looking remarkably bright. What a transformation! It barely looks like the same coin. It is left with a brilliant pink-white shine, except for the slight scratch on the shield of Britannia. It has been totally transformed and looking brilliant. For this suggestion, Stephen Patrick, you set my expectations high and are rewarded with maximum points, 10 out of 10. I think this has worked better than any of the other products, even the ones we used to scrub coins previously, so thank you. Our last recommendation comes from Daniel Trailer. Try a cleaning product called the Pink Stuff. It's another suggestion that I've seen crop up a number of times, so let's give it a go. The last coin we will sacrifice is from 1907, a year which saw over 47 million of these coins minted, a year that also saw the opening of the Old Bailey Criminal Court in London. One last coin into the pot, and instead of spraying it, I was a bit lazy and just poured it into the cup. A lovely pink liquid living up to the name of the product. Let's see what a day in the cleaner does. Not quite the transformation of our last coin, but let's get it out for closer inspection. Once again, the high points of the design have sharpened up really well, and the background of the coin too is a bit brighter. Although not as brilliantly clean as the last one, it has done some work though. Our last coin ends up with a score from me of 7, a low 7, but a 7 nonetheless, leaving this in joint third place with ketchup. Well, there we go, a whole host of solutions to soak your coins in an attempt to clean them. As we said at the start of the video though, our recommendation is not to clean your coins. If you have valuable, rare, or coins which are special to you, then please don't use any of these solutions to clean them, because it will destroy the numismatic value of the coins. If you'd like to contribute your own home remedies, then do leave me a comment down below, and if we return to this topic in the future, I'll be digging through to find some of the ones we haven't tried before. Be sure as well to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free to do and means you won't miss out on any of our future uploads. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where you'll see us post lots of pictures of our coins. We're also on Twitter and TikTok, and if you haven't seen recently, we did clean a very nice 2 kilogram gold coin. You'll have to watch the video to understand that a bit more, but it is a lot of fun. There's also our shop and online store, but I'll see you next time for more amazing coins from the Britannia Coin Company.